What's going on, family? Welcome to the Still Becoming podcast. I am your host, Chantel Scott, and this is our space for real, raw, and unfiltered talk. Welcome back if you've been here before, and if you are new, welcome in. Come on, pull up a chair. Listen, we about to get to it. We about to talk. We about to talk about some real stuff. So listen, if you're back, thank you so much for returning. And I hope that you enjoyed the last episode. If you have not had an opportunity to watch that, I'm going to link it right here so that you have an opportunity to watch that episode, new or not. And finally, if you can, and if you think that I'm worthy of your presence, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the engagement, and I look forward to sitting with you every week with more information and more chit chats. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the support thus far. Listen, we've been in grief and I've been praying about it, and the Lord gave me something a little bit lighter. Okay, so we ain't talking about grief today, but we're going to talk about something very close to that, coming out of that. How about that? We're going to talk about coming out of grief today. So as you can see, the episode is called Still Healing, Mourning to Meaning, and I want to kind of walk through this process with you guys. So I felt that this episode was necessary because there is a space between grief and healing that no one ever talks about, right? It's that space that is quiet. It's in the middle, right? We talk a lot about healing and we talk a lot about grief, but what about that quiet space that's in the middle? What about that space where there's nothing dramatic or traumatic happening, but you're not fully in the devastation of grief, but you're also not fully healed? What do you call that space? Right? What do you call the space where it's quiet? No one's really calling anymore. You don't have visitors coming in and out of your house. You don't have to make preparations to lay someone to rest. You don't have to sign divorce papers. You don't have to think about, or you're not able to think about a spouse or a partner coming in and out of the house. It's the space where the no background noise is happening. It's just you and your thoughts. It's the space where you're no longer asking the question, why did it happen? But more so, who am I right now? How am I going to live through this? What is going to change about my life? Am I going to be able to deal with this? That's the space I'm talking about. That's the space I want to sit in tonight. Is that all right with y'all? And by the way, is anybody there? If you are, I want you to comment, if possible. Comment and let me know if you're familiar with that space, right? I want to talk about it. I want to talk about that space where the initial shock of devastation and grief wear off, but it's not gone, but you're also not healed. I want to talk about that space tonight. All right. Is that all right with y'all? Hopefully y'all said yes, because if you didn't, you're going to have to hold on to your chair a little bit tighter, because we about to go for it. So as I mentioned, I want to sit in that space tonight, and I want to talk about what this space is potentially called. What do you call it? I looked for a word and I couldn't really find one, but I can tell you what I felt. I felt that space is called mourning. I felt that it was called mourning, and mourning is active. It's not passive. It's a daily thing that you wrestle with, and it sits on your back. I don't know if you ever heard the phrase, a monkey on your back. That's what it feels like. It's a very active thing, and it's also a very heavy realization that your life as you knew it has shifted. It's a very surreal feeling that the version of you that was existent before this thing happened is no longer here. That person is not existent anymore. And if they are existent, they're not existent under the same circumstances or the same conditions. Tell me what you think about that. I want to know. And when I think about mourning, I think that it is truly a feeling or a realization that tells us the truth about what we lost, what's gone. And meaning is sitting with the realization of what you have left. So from mourning to meaning, from learning or understanding the truth about what's gone to sitting with what's left. That's what I want to talk about tonight. Because you're going to look up one day, or if you have already looked up one day, you might have been thinking, dang, I've lost that thing. I've lost this person. I've lost this aspect of my life. Now, whether you wanted it to or not, it's gone. And you're going to have to figure out how to live with that. You're going to have to figure out how to make peace with the very thing that you've lost. And that's where we're at tonight. So if you've ever experienced a significant loss, and you might have found yourself changed with a version of you that was before, and then now there's a version of you after. And how do you sit with that? What do you do? What's the process to heal that person? Right? Not the person that was there before, but the person that's there now. What do you do? Loss changes who we are. It changes our innermost wiring, especially if someone is taken from us, a parent, a partner, whomever is taken from us, or they just left. They leave you with a void. Now you have to rewire yourself. Your roles shift. Your priorities are different. Your energy's changed. It's different. It's shifted. It changes who you are. It changes you to your core. You might have lost a partner. Now you got to change the way you eat. You change the time you eat. You change when you go to the gym, how you go to the gym. You might have bought basketball shoes to play with this person, and now they're not there, right? That was a little personal. But you might have done things like that. You might have, there might be things that you do, like singing in the car or traveling at certain times of the day or traveling to certain locations that you've done. And now that person is not there. So that person that you were is also not there, because those two people were together, and now they're not. And so there's a shift in who you are. There's a shift in how you are. Or if you lost a parent, you might assume different responsibilities. You might assume business endeavors or things with business that you might not have had to before. Your rhythm changes. If you're like me, I call my mama every day. Okay? And sometimes multiple times a day. God, please hear my prayer right now that you cover my mother in the blood. If anything ever happened to my mama, my entire person would change. Everything about me would change. There's weight gain, there's weight loss, right? There is humor, there are aspects of ourselves that are shifted. And when the loss or the grief is wearing off, you got to recognize yourself again. And that takes time. And it takes effort. It's not just an instantaneous, like, hey, snap back. I'm going back to this life of the party person that I was. I'm going back to this humorous person that I was. You're grieving not only the loss of that person, but the loss of the version that you were before they left. Before that thing failed, before whatever happened, before the separation between current reality and new reality happened. And you got to sit with that. And you got to be okay with it. You got to be okay with it. And you will find parts of yourself missing in this healing journey. You're going to find that you might not be as carefree as you used to be. I know, like, for me, when certain things have happened, I've become overly cautious. Like, I am already a very cautious person. I'm a very analytical and logical person. But when things happen, I become even more like stringent and meticulous about the details of my life. I become more pessimistic sometimes, just being real with myself right now. Probably is just being real. This is what we do here. Being real. Like, instead of being as optimistic as I typically am, sometimes I could be extremely pessimistic. I could be extremely antisocial. Like, I think right now in this season, I am experiencing that very thing. So y'all out there, if y'all have not seen me, heard from me, talked to me, it ain't on purpose. There are shifts happening around me. And though I am mostly Chantel, I have really never been the Chantel that I was before my dad died, since he died. And we're coming up on his anniversary. And I see myself cocooning and going back into those habits of antisocial, isolating, just those really self-protective measures. And again, that version of me that was existent before he passed, she's not there anymore. And I had to really figure out who she is, who she was after he died. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but stay with me. But yeah, I think that, before a loss, you might have been, like I said, the life of the party. You might have been the one that made everybody laugh. You might have been the dependable one. You might have been the one that everybody could call. You might have been the emotionally available one. But when you lose something significant, when something goes that won't come back, and you were all of these things, afterward, you might have to reinvent yourself. And that space between deep grief and profound healing, you're going to have to figure that person out. It doesn't go from one extreme to the next. Contrary to what people say, contrary to how it's projected on us, it doesn't do that. It doesn't happen like that. I think healing is a slow process, and it's not linear. I don't think healing is linear. I think I've probably gone back to being a ratchet probably more times than I can at least want to admit to you all, before, I was truly delivered from certain ways, because I was accustomed to being a certain way, and then changes in my life happened, and it was like, I had to evolve, and I had to grow, and I had to heal, and I became a different version. Like, do I sometimes still revert back? That's to be determined. But my point is, there are parts of us that truly die when we have a loss, or when we are experiencing traumatic, or not even traumatic, just life-shifting things. And that's what we don't give a lot of credit to, this space in between. So if you're grieving the version of yourself right now that existed before someone left, or before something changed your life, or before something in your life changed, that's okay. That's okay, because I don't want you to think that because this part of you is different, that you're a broken version of yourself. You're not broken. You're not broken. You're not broken because you're changed. You're changed because something was broken in you, around you, for you. That's how that goes. So don't think that you have to be this version of yourself all the time, because sometimes we go back and forth. You got to be okay, and you got to realize that having new habits, having new priorities, having new outlook on life, having a new perception of yourself is okay, right? I feel like we're hard on ourselves, especially women of color, because we have to be the dependable one. We have to be the strong one. We have to be the self-reliant one. We have to be the one that everyone can come to for something. And I can only speak for women of color because I am one. So if anyone else is watching, don't take offense to this. I'm simply saying about my own personal experiences. I come from a woman of color, and she came from one, and she came from one. So I can only speak on that aspect, that fact. And I think that we don't leave room for ourselves to change, or to grieve, or to grow, or to whatever. And I don't think society gives us a space for it either. Stay tuned for episode 2. Y'all gonna like that one a lot. But I wanna talk about this healing process, because I feel like a lot of us rush through it. And there's truly healing in silence, in solitude, in understanding that what happened to you didn't just happen to you, but it happened for you. And there's always a lesson. There's always a lesson, and there's always something to take out of every situation. Always. I'll say after losing my great grandmother in 2017, my sense of humor changed. There were certain things I just didn't joke about anymore. And that's for good or bad, right? My tolerance changed. I don't play about elderly people. I don't play about grandparents. I don't play about the relationship with grandparents. I don't play about relationship with parents, right? The affection that I have for my family, the intentionality that I have for my family, all of those things changed because I realized that my great grandmother would call me or I would call her and she would ask me to come home. But I was so hell bent on being just this best employee. And there was one time she asked me to come home. I was in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in a hotel. And I said, I'll be there. I'm coming. I'll be right there to South Carolina. And I didn't get to go. And the next time that I went was the last time that I saw her alive. It shattered me. It shifted me. It shook me to my core, but it shaped me. It shaped me in my healing process. It shaped me to be a more responsible, a more intentional person. This new version of me was totally different, and I didn't know what to expect when she left. I'll tell you this. Hey, I got real depressed. Because I could not tap into the Chantel that I was before. I was in the gym. I was deadlifting. I was powerlifting. I was doing all of these crazy types of things, and I was loving it. And for a long time, I could not find her. I could not find the girl that loved to work out. I could not find the girl that was eating healthy. I could not find the girl that was so confident. I couldn't find her. And it was driving me insane, y'all. Believe me, I am not like it had gotten so bad to the point where I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping at night. And I was still going to this job, and them people was aggravating me. And I was so emotionally unstable at that time. I couldn't blow up on anybody. So instead of exploding, I imploded. And that's worse. I feel like that's worse sometimes because you literally sabotage yourself from the inside out. I became suicidal. Shout out to my boy Will. Will, if you see this, shout out to you, my man. Like you a real one for what I'm about to say. And I had to find a trusted person at that time. At that time it was Will. That was my dog. Me and him talk all the time. And Will was like, bro, you gotta let yourself feel this stuff. And it's okay. It's also okay to get help. Just throw that in there. Listen, I ain't no therapist. Hey, let me put this disclaimer here. I ain't no therapist. I ain't got no degree in no psychology, physiology, psychiatry. That is not a word. I'm an engineer and I said science. Y'all know what the heck I'm talking about. Listen, I don't got none of that. So don't take this for health advice. Don't try to sue me because I ain't got no money for you. But my point is, like, I was going through this thing, and from the inside out, I was losing it all because I could not find Chantel in the midst of all of these things. I quit my job. I ain't have a job for like 3 months, y'all. I hadn't turned off my internet. I hadn't turned off my cable. I hadn't did all of these things. I gave them people's 2 weeks. Yes, them people's. I gave them 2 weeks and I was out. And it was between, my grandma died in 2016. May 18, 2016, and this happened in 2017. So I wasn't in like the full devastation of grief, but I also wasn't fully healed. And what I saw myself doing was self-sabotaging because I could not find me. I was not patient with me. I didn't find people that were patient with me at the time that were really, really, really close to me. I didn't have that. I had some other traumatic stuff that we gonna talk about, y'all. It's some grimy people out here that really capitalize on people's vulnerability. So I'm not telling you to go out here and tell everybody your business. Use discernment. But not only using discernment, use wisdom. Discernment tells you what it is. Wisdom tells you how to act on it. Okay? Listen. So come on, Chantel, refocus. What I'm getting at here is you are going to have to reinvent yourself in this space, in this quiet space where no one is showing up, where things are quiet, where things are not happening, where you're not planning funerals, where you're not, doing whatever. And you're going to have to feel it, and you're going to have to be okay with it. Don't let nobody come in and disrupt it. The worst thing I did, listen, if you lay with dogs, you're going to catch fleas. All right? Take that for what it's worth. All right? Don't go out here looking in the slums trying to find yourself, because you're not going to find you. That's not where you left you, and you're not going to find you there. Don't go out here and try to find people to tell you who you are and what you should be and all of that, because it's just going to make things worse. That don't heal nothing. It only hurts. And I'm saying that because if you like me, well, the younger version of me, I ain't like that no more. Bless you, Lord. I bless you. If you like me, if you are like my younger self, I went out and I was trying to find men and different activities that just kind of like to redefine myself. And that just wasn't it. I had to literally sit, go to therapy, pray. Don't forget to do them things, or whatever your belief is. I ain't trying to convert nobody. Hey, if you do, listen, my Lord and Savior is amazing. Just shout out to Jesus. But you really gotta, like, the pieces that are broken in you, you gotta let the Lord put them back together. And that picture ain't gonna look the same way. That picture ain't gonna look like it did before it fell off the wall, before the wall was shaking and everything broke apart. It's not gonna look as pretty. Or it could be a completely new masterpiece. But you gotta give it to him. And he'll put it back together if you let him. Sure enough will. But you gotta let him. And the sooner you realize that, the less likely you are to continue to beat yourself up about becoming this person that, but re-becoming this person. That's not a word. Stay with me. Going back to this person. Going back to this person that you were prior to this thing happening. Listen, when that mourning turns into a meaning, it'll turn into healing. But you gotta mourn. You do. You gotta mourn, and you gotta be okay with it. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're trying to find an escape. Please don't. Listen to me. I have done the trial and error. I have been everybody's test dummy. I've been my own test dummy like 50 times. Just don't do it. It just don't work. It don't work. But I will say what did work. I said therapy, prayer, a solid friend or two. Shout out to you, Will, bro. You're my black man for life. Listen, he really stood in for me and advocated on my behalf to God and for therapy. And shout out to my boy with his wife and their new baby. Shout out to you, Will. Tiff, and Gigi. Love y'all. But yeah, I don't want, back to topic. I don't want y'all to think that you have to rush this process. No one should make you feel bad for really not going back. If someone says, oh, you're still moping, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, or oh, you used to be this, or oh, you used to be that, or you don't laugh like you used to, you don't make jokes like you used to, you got doggone right. And don't, and won't, and can't, and willn't, and will not. Okay? Listen, I have a complete dislike for people that try to project their toxicity onto us. Like, bruh, leave me alone. If you don't like the space I'm in, move around. And that goes for us on the other side too. Like, y'all don't try to make people be or do nothing. People out here on their own healing journey, bruh. Like, and if you are even on a journey to get there, that's enough. You're going to have detours. It's not linear. You're going to go up and down, around and around. Like, let's not make life more difficult than it has to be. We got enough stuff we dealing with. You feel me? But I'm about to wrap this up. I wanted to, this is a really quick episode, but it's a meaningful episode because, as I mentioned, Mourning tells us the truth about what we cared about. It tells us the truth about what left us. It tells us truly why we're feeling the way we're feeling about this person or thing. But the meaning in it helps us sit with what's left. So all those broken pieces, you grab all those broken pieces, take them all up, just grab them one by one, put them back in, and you give them to the Father to put back together, to heal it. Don't try to do it all on your own. Don't try to do it all on your own. Don't think that you have to figure it out for yourself. That space of mourning between grief and between healing, between grief and healing, that mourning space, feel it. Feel it. And like I said, when you bring all those broken pieces back together, they're not going to look the same. You're not going to be the same person, but you will find a new version of you. You will find a new normal. Can I tell y'all another a little quick story? When my daddy died, I remember people calling me and there a lot of people said a lot of different things. But the one thing I appreciated was one person saying to me, I don't know what you need right now, but I'm going to sit here with you. I'm going to give you space. And this is months and months and months after he passed away. I'm going to sit here with you and I'm going to give you space. If you want to talk, we can talk. If you want to cry, I'll let you cry. If you want to vent, you can vent. Those types of conversations help me find a new version of me. I am not the Chantel from 2022 by any means. I am totally different than I was the moment I found out my father passed away. But it benefited me because I became more in tune with myself. I learned more about what to do to take care of me in the time of distress. I learned how to be patient with myself because I had a lot of people like, you're going to give yourself, you're going to be sick and do and this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, then let me be sick. Let me figure this out. Because the other girl, I don't know where she at. She's still in Oakland, California somewhere. Because she didn't come to Texas. I don't know where she at. Like, shout out to her. But I don't have her no more. So y'all got to let me figure this person out. And it's going to take time. And it's going to take intentionality. Heal the way you have to heal to be better for who you are right now. Not who you were. That's all I got for y'all. Don't rush it. Mourning tells the truth about what is gone, what you lost, who isn't there anymore. But the meaning in the mourning helps you find out what's left. Them broken pieces that you take and you put into a pile and you start trying to figure out where they go. Yeah, that's the meaning. And that's where the healing comes. So this space of grief, mourning, meaning, and then healing, don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. Truly love on yourself, man. Give yourself grace. You need it. You need it. You're not broken. You might have broken pieces, but you're not broken. And if you can't find the person you were before, him or her, it's okay. You're not broken. You're changed. Yeah, you're changed, and that's okay. Give yourself grace. All right? Listen, family. That's really all I have for y'all tonight. It's a real quick episode. Stay tuned for next week's episode. I hope y'all like it. We're going to be talking about being a strong friend. Yeah. I got some strong friends out there. Shout out to all my strong friends. We ain't really that strong, y'all. We be weary. Oh, she will be weary. That is not me singing for real. Just don't get it twisted. Hey, man. Listen, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Again, it was real short, real sweet. I wanted to amp it up a little bit from the grief series. So we're going to be in Still Healing for 2 more weeks. And I hope y'all find something in this that you can use. And if it was a bust, just let me know that too. But hey, if you're still with me and you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining. Hey, and to you and your family, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Listen, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. Listen, I hope you and your family enjoy the holidays. I will see you before the new year. Thank you for sticking around. I am your host, S.T.I.L.L Scott, and this is the Still Becoming podcast. Y'all have a really great night. Thank you.